Hi. Hello. Good morning. How is everyone today? It's September 23rd. It's Friday in the Matrix work week. And so, how's everyone doing? This is Living in the Light, and I'm Mary Amy, and I'm all about cracking open that beautiful glowing light that's in your heart that you've had since birth, guiding you to your destiny and shifting away darkness. What's everyone up to today? What was your first intention? What was your first thought this morning? Are you going to commit to the best version of you? And are you going to imagine and visualize the most beautiful destiny for yourself? Well, today I want to cover subjects like love. What do your eyes see? And 3D earth shrinks. Of course, we'll be doing a visualization, and we'll be covering like angels and intuitive skill set. And so, you know, I I guess I feel like at some point I'm going off on some of these topics, and I don't know if they're valuable to you. So I figured I'd kind of go with something very um, true to my heart, which is love. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I think so much of the pain that's in the world is based on feeling unloved. It's about not feeling worthy or having your heart hurt. Like we spoke about having a broken heart the other day. And so, do you have love in your heart? Are you feeling love for yourself and for others? Because really, like, what's the purpose, and what's your purpose in life? What is your mission in life? We spoke about the two paths, service to self and service to others. So service to others is about 51% of your thoughts and actions are pretty much devoted to others, helping others, compassion and love for others. So, love is a feeling of deep affection for someone, and you cherish them. And, we spoke about your needs. Like, there's wants and desires and wishes, and then there's needs, like to survive in this physical reality, which are we need air, we need sunlight, we need water, we need food, we need shelter, and we need clothing, obviously, and we need love. To survive, we really need love because we will become sick, and we will be more low vibrational, where we're living in kind of doom and gloom, and more emotions of sadness and pain, and maybe even sometimes hatred and anger. And so I'm hoping that we can kind of evolve into these loving beings, because we're going to move on to what do your eyes see. And I gave this some thought, because I shared with you recently I literally had a miracle happen to me, where the pain that I had within my heart, I had a broken heart, has healed. Now I don't know why and how this is healed, because I've lived with it my whole life, and I had a broken heart from one of my parents. And so it's something that just never, it was never okay. And so I had these issues of abandonment. And so I'm bringing up love because it's vital to our success in this world. It's vital to us surviving. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And so do you find it difficult to love yourself? And are you feeling love from others? Because we say that we all have a vibration, and we all have a frequency. And so when someone is within range of you, maybe a stranger, you're in a group of people, What do you attract into your life? What opportunities? Because to succeed at reaching your desire, reaching your destiny and your truest desires, you must have love for yourself. You must tune inward and check your heart and say, how am I feeling today? And we must do that with love. We must allow ourselves to be who we are and accept ourselves. And as soon as we do that, then everything kind of opens up for us. And when we allow ourselves to be our real, truest self and say, okay, so maybe I didn't handle that the best way, but I'm going to embrace myself and I'm going not to put shame on myself. And I'm not saying that we're not going to learn from some of our decisions and our behaviors. But what I'm trying to say is we must love all of ourselves, even the naughty stuff, even the things that we are not proud of. Maybe some circumstances or situations that occurred in your existence here on New Earth Gaia, you're not so proud of. But let's try to embrace ourselves so we don't encourage more of that in our lives. Because when we don't embrace ourselves and we push things away, like, oh, well, I don't even want to look at that, it didn't go well, then we're blocking ourselves from really knowing ourselves and accepting ourselves and reaching our destiny. That will take us off our journey, off of our path. So let's embrace all of ourselves. So let's have, this is for ourselves and for others. So let's have caring and concern for others and goodwill. So when you're in love, it's kind of a little bit different than when you maybe love in a friendship or a parent or a sibling or a relative. It's more of this profound, tender, passionate affection that you have for the person, and you might feel safe and you feel like they're listening to you and they don't want to change you, because that's real love. If someone's unconditionally loving you, and when you unconditionally love yourself, you're not asking for anything about you to be altered. And there's no time frame on unconditional love. It's not like all of a sudden they're like, time's up, sorry, don't love you anymore. That's not really true love. Now, maybe you haven't encountered true love yet or unconditional love, but the more we love ourselves and allow ourselves to be the best version of us, all of our personality, convey and express ourselves, the quicker we will find and not a more intimate love, a true love, maybe your twin flame, maybe your soulmate. And those that we feel as though we are closest to, and we have some adoration for them, and we have kindness and we're friendly with them, there's going to be signs that they're the right person, because you're going to feel safe. You'll feel that as though you're listened to. They'll make you smile, and you'll just feel like you can be truly yourself. Now, the other side of it, the other side of love, because, like I say, as much light and goodness there is in the world, there's as much dark forces and negativity. And it's the same kind of, love and hate. They say there's a fine line. um, you know, hate is a very strong word. It's like an intense feeling of dislike rather than intense feeling of deep devotion that love is. So hate is someone that you loathe and detest, or a thing, a person, place, or thing. You might say, I hate this, which is very strong, which you really feel as though you have no wants towards that, right? And you might have a hatred or an intense hostility and aversion. So I want to bring up both because I want you to be, okay with talking about both. Because, there's been times in my life where I said I hated certain things. You go through a really dark period in your life, or you encounter someone that they just rub you the wrong way, and you kind of feel this real strong, intense dislike for them. But what I'm going to say is, I hope that even those that you feel this hatred for, this dislike for, you can kind of turn it around. Because as we awaken and we realize that we're reaching a higher consciousness, we must love everything and everyone equally, because we're not going to find peace on earth if we can't embrace everyone for exactly who they are. And sometimes, you know, if you don't like someone or you dislike someone, it's because they remind you of someone else. And so you might project your feelings, or you might try to recreate another relationship with someone. So just be aware, why is it that you hate this person or this thing? What is bringing that? Is it something that you have a total disagreement with them and you can't allow them to be themselves? Write in the chat. Tell me what your feelings are. Hey, Garrett. Awareness, exactly. Where are you coming from, Garrett? Are you from the USA? And so it's all about awareness. It's really like compromise and acceptance for ourselves. And Boston. Okay, I'm going to write that down because I'm keeping track. I don't, it's like I don't want to be rude to anyone. So we've had, people from New York, Transylvania, Kuwait, Detroit, Colorado. So anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're interested, if what I'm saying resonates with you. And so this morning, it really kind of came to me. I said to myself, I really have to share that how our eyes see things, what our perspective kind of determines a lot. It determines which avenue we take. It determines our actions, our words, our thoughts. And so what do your eyes see? And how are you, where are you coming from when you see it? Because so much of the world, like I say, none of us are similar. Really, I say bring up your 3 genuine characteristics that make you like no one else. Interesting, the collection is all over the place. Yes, it is. And so we kind of hope that we can collectively see, exactly, Garrett, from the same perspective. But can we? Because we don't look the same, we don't have the same personality, we are from a different family, we have a different direction that we want to take. And so it's very difficult to kind of find yourself on common ground. Now you can kind of have common ground with, some foundational perspectives and beliefs. But I mean, a lot of that is shifting around too, because more information is coming out there, more frequencies are coming at us. There is a strong line that's being drawn in the sand, and it's about strong either politics or education or health. And there goes the love and hate. But I really am trying to get to, what I'm trying to reach is, what do you see really matters? Because if we're not seeing things from the same perspective, are we really communicating? And so what appears to you? What do you choose to see? I'm done taking people. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's very difficult, isn't it? And so what are you able to see? They say we only see 1% of what's going on around us. 99% of the world we are unable to see because of light. The percentage of light that we can see technically is 0.0035%, which is visible light. So what actually is going on around us? And that's why I find it so important that we work on our intuitive skill set, and we work on our feelings and emotions. Maybe work isn't the right word. Maybe it's exercise, practice. We practice our intuitive clear senses so that we have more of ability, right? Because we are like owls, we're seeing in the dark. And especially now in this world, what is recognizable to you? What information are you receiving? Now, our eyes symbolize a gateway to the soul, intelligence, light. Practice what you preach. Yes. So, what we see really matters, out of our eyes in this physical reality. I mean, if we're basing everything on that, I kind of base it on my intuition, my sixth sense. But what's your perception of what's going on in the world right now? Because that really can make a difference. Is your perception that everything's wonderful and going well? I look on my social media feed on Twitter, and I even made a comment today that most of those that I receive information from, their posts are all about how much light is here, how much we're at heaven on earth, the golden age, and this beautiful place that we're embarking on, this location in this physical realm, this heaven on earth. And so is that what you're seeing? Are you seeing the world through eyes that are positive, on in a good place, and you believe in compassion and love and forgiveness? Or are you coming from a place of, I'm really mad at everyone, and I dislike my life? Are you in gratitude? Are you living in this moment? Because how you see things are going to kind of take you to your destiny, to the next task. And how you see things will make a difference in how other people approach you and what kind of opportunities come your way. Are you seeing the world right now and saying, oh my gosh, it's all this chaos and havoc and it's a big poop show? Or are you saying, oh wow, I'm looking at, wow, today it's a beautiful day. There's nature. I hear the wind outside hit and the leaves. And yesterday was autumn equinox. And so it's the changing, the transitioning of the seasons. We have, September, October, November, and then we head into the winter. Are you looking at, is that your perception right now? Is your perspective like, well, yeah, I have so much to do, and I'm really bored. I mean, because our perspective, our perception, and what we see the world to be will change our destiny. Like I say, our thoughts, words, and actions matter. Our thoughts are very powerful, and our words are basically making it more concrete. What was your first thought of the day today? Someone tell me. Oh, hey, Angie, the lens we view the world through make the eye all different. Absolutely. I hope everyone likes the video and subscribes to the channel. So, Angie, how are you today? I'm so glad you're joining us. You've been on my mind. So now what you see kind of matters in so many ways, because then we become more aware. So I realized, I kind of encountered something yesterday. It's a new world. It's great. Yes, it is a new world. And that's what I see, because the more of us that see this beautiful world, then the quicker more will become awakened. Because it's almost like, that game of telephone when you were a kid and you had the little cup and then there was a little string, or you had a walkie-talkie and you'd be like, hello, hello. And because that way we're passing the information. Do you see? We're passing the information, because if we see, for example, I see the world a certain way, and so I'm sharing it with you. And so then I'm sending it like a little game of telephone through the little tube to you, and then you're passing it to someone else and you're seeing it. And maybe it's like we say, you're receiving messages and something's resonating with you if you're joining us, because I'm all about living in the light, living in the light. And so the fact that we can only see 1% of the world through our eyes, because 99% is not visible to us, we cannot see. So what's going on around us? That's why I say tune into your intuitive senses. I'm way better than today. I'm listening to you, but I get packed for the lake. Oh, yes. Have a wonderful time at the lake, Angie. Angie's in Georgia. I'm seeing the world through my pineal gland. Yes. So our third eye, have you activated your third eye? Have you awakened? Are you having ascension symptoms? I had 3 days of feeling exhausted. Were they ascension symptoms? Was I transitioning? Was it this big shift that's going on? Because as the world becomes more awakened, it's going to change basically our environment, our senses, how we feel, and maybe we'll be a little bit more tired. Maybe we'll be a little bit more hungry. And we might go through dark night of the soul. So what are you seeing? Now, we can become aware of something through our senses. It doesn't necessarily have to just be through our eyes. Like I say, what kind of impression are you receiving? So a mental image, your eye can see between 30 and 60 frames per second. Our eyes transmit information to the brain, and the eyes can detect a wavelength from 380 to 700 nanometers. There's a little bit of science, I guess, or technical talk. And like I said, the percentage of light that we can see is technically only 0.0035. So it's really kind of crucial that not only how we see the world is through our eyes, but through all of our senses. What are we hearing? What are we sensing? What is resonating in our heart? We don't realize, I've mentioned animals and how animals can see in the dark, or animals have such strong hearing that they can hear things that we can't hear because it's such a different sound wave. But on some level, we're receiving the same information as animals. We are living creatures. It's just our nervous system is maybe adjusted differently, and maybe we don't realize that things are affecting us. What is the dark night of the soul? So the dark night of the soul is as you awaken, Garrett, and that means maybe you have a Kundalini awakening, or you have a spiritual awakening, and maybe that comes through a mystical experience. Maybe you ask to be awakened. So you are awakened. So when we say we came out of a slumber, we were a little bit of in a coma. And so when you awaken, you realize that this physical reality of all these systems in the linear world, the matrix, this illusion, is not the only reality possible. So you've awakened, you've expanded your awareness, you have a higher consciousness, and you're coming from a higher vibration. And you realize that this is not as it seems. So during that, one of the symptoms of having an awakening is that you go through the dark night of the soul. So the dark night of the soul is not a fun thing. What happens is issues come through like they have in your past. Although in the past, maybe you have the same person enters your life, but they have a different outside look about them. But you encounter the same issues with them. Now, maybe it's through people, maybe it's through relationships. It might be through a situation in your career, your occupation. And the same stuff keeps coming up. And it keeps coming up is because you haven't dealt with it. You haven't gone through it. So when you reach dark night of the soul, all of your issues kind of, they surface, and you can't help but look at them, and you have to go through it. It's very, very strange. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like all thoughts are on it until you get through it. So like, let's say you have an issue where you lose your temper quite a bit. When you go through dark night of the soul, even though you've kind of pushed it aside or stuffed it somewhere, you're not looking at it, it's blocking you from your destiny. When you go through dark night of the soul, one by one, each of your issues will rise up. So then, let's say you lose your temper, you have a hissy fit, you act out. You're not going to be able to avoid it. You're going to have to come through the other side. You're going to have to look at it and say, I did that. And you're going to have to embrace it and realize and make it part of you. And then you don't do it anymore. So that's what Dark Night of the Soul, it's like healing. You're healing yourself. We truly can heal ourselves. So definitely been going through it for a while now. Yes, you probably have, because you're here and I'm awakened. So my vibration attracted you here. And so what do your eyes see? Well, your eyes are your attitude, what you see. It matters your outlook, your viewpoint. And I'm bringing awareness to this because I encountered a situation yesterday and I wasn't looking at through their eyes of my behavior. I was just looking through my eyes, and I normally have compassion, but I didn't have as much compassion as I normally do. And so I've realized I wasn't looking through their eyes, and they were hurt and they were injured. And that had nothing to do with me, but they had a pool of this hurt. And so my actions, my behavior hurt them a little bit more. And so I'm saying just be aware, because we don't want to hurt other people. And so then you ask for forgiveness. That's what you can offer. And you try to, put yourself in their shoes, have compassion and kindness. And sometimes we're in a place of not paying attention or not being aware, and we make these mistakes. And I can only hope that we learn. So as we all have become awakened, everyone who's joining us knows this. What's happening to the 3D world? Well, it's shrinking. The 3D matrix linear illusion world, this physical reality that we've been living in with all these systems and these, rulers. We spoke about the queen the other day, and she's the monarch, and she passed away, and she was the ruler of the lands. She was able to drive around in a car without a license because that's how much power she had. Her worth was 500 million, and that whole day cost 7.5 million. And so as occasions and events like that occur, we're seeing that the matrix is becoming smaller and smaller. It's shrinking. They're hanging on. Those in charge are hanging on, like the cat hanging out the window on the windowsill. I'm going to fall. And they're doubling down. We spoke of doubling down. And when they double down, it's because they're really trying to keep everyone in this way of thinking that, not to rebel, to conform. I say I'm from a pack of rebels, not the rebels that cause havoc out there, the rebels that realize that there's another reality. Sometimes I see through everything. I'm very aware, almost scary. Well, that's great. So that's, that means that you really have your intuitive abilities online. And the more that you're allowing yourself to be you, you're reminding yourself of your 3 genuine, authentic characteristics. And when we go through a tough patch, a rough patch, we stand on those and we say, I am these 3 things. I am worthy. I am lovable. And so this linear world is shrinking. It's shrinking. It's shrinking like the witch did in The Wizard of Oz. I'm shrinking. Because maybe we've thrown water on it. Maybe it's just going to diminish, and it is. Because in the angelic realm, in the spiritual realm, good is already won. Good has triumphed over evil. So evil is leaving. And the 3D world, we're going to see every single day moving forward that it's going to completely just disappear, and everything is collapsing. Now, the world that we envision, what is that world? If you could close your eyes and you could say, if I could take away this physical reality and what it's been, this structure, these systems, these buildings and and all of this, what we have to do and how we're supposed to live our lives. If you could close your eyes and you could just create the most beautiful reality, what would it be? Because that matters. Your thoughts matter. If we all have the same thoughts, we're becoming more unified. We are all one. We're just pieces of a whole. And we'll have more collective consciousness, and we will create heaven on earth. So heaven on earth is allegedly supposed to be light on the earth, an awakening, an enjoyable place, a very pleasant, dreamlike state. It's supposed to be valleys of green and very, very light-filled dawns and blue waters and vivid colors, a place of solitude. And that is where heaven on earth. Well, what happens is, like, we don't want to force anyone to wake up. It's all in their time. However, we're supposed to have the solar flash, which is going to bring everyone forward who hasn't been awakened by the end of the year. It's supposed to happen. I had some dreams recently I spoke of last week about the solar flash, or maybe it was Monday I spoke about it. And so I had two dreams in one night. And so I looked up and I thought it was real, and I saw the sun and white beams, rays of light were coming off the sun. And I was speaking to my daughter and I said, "Oh, look, it was the solar flash." So I don't know, it was that a premonition dream? And so we want less ugliness in the world. We want to create heaven on earth, don't we? And we can allow only positivity in our life, maybe, and we can exist in this physical reality, and our thoughts, words, and actions will matter. So if we emphasize, if we have words that we surround our life with that are positive, like hope and joy and love and goodness and happiness and nature, we can help ourselves to get that miracle, that awakening. We can wake ourselves up. Now, sometimes we just feel overwhelmed. And when we feel overwhelmed, we almost can't accomplish so much. We just say, "Oh, I'm so tired." But that's normal. That's like a normal state. It's when we feel overwhelmed all the time. It takes a toll on our vessel, our physical being. So let's try together. I'm suggesting that we try to even shrink the 3D matrix some more. Now, it's naturally going to happen because, more light is coming onto the earth, more people are becoming awake, and they're realizing 2 plus 2 does not equal 4, it equals F now. And they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes one more time, and another distraction and more fear. Now, do you have fear? Well, you know what? It would be completely acceptable if you did, because if you turn on the television and you watch any news or media going on, they have mass marketing of fear, fear, fear. It's like a blinking light on you, and it's a little subliminal. They're advertising fear. Be scared. And, if that doesn't work, then they come up with another one and then another one. And so we're kind of like, "Oh my God, this is so overwhelming. I'm so scared." And we don't want to be scared, though, because when we have fear, we're worried. We feel like a little lost. Maybe we kind of become less of ourselves, and we can't get to the joy, and we fall off of our path. We fall off of our journey to our destiny. So if you have fear, what do I say? Do I say avoid it? Do I say, "No, put it over there"? No, I'm recommending, if you have some fear about something and you say, "Oh, I'm so scared," or "I'm worried," because we are hearing some kind of fear-based stuff out there, whether it's in the media, even on some of these social media platforms that are supposedly spiritually awakened. We're kind of hearing like, "Oh my gosh, is there going to be a cataclysmic event? Are these very serious things about to happen? Are we going to lose all of our banking? Are we going to, there's this September 24th, hearing that. But you know what? It's not going to help you if you come from fear. You must embrace it. So whatever's going to happen is going to happen out in the physical world because we can't control it. We can only control ourselves. Our thoughts, words, and actions will create our reality. That's why I say it matters what you see. Are you seeing this beautiful world? Or are you seeing this world that everything is terrible and it's awful and oh no, because that's what you're creating for the next 2 weeks. We have to create this beautiful world, heaven on earth. I'm going to start working 6 days a week because time has just been so fast lately on a new timeline. Well, yes, we are on a new timeline. I spoke of the late timeline arrivals. Are you a late timeline arrival? Have you just awakened? Have you awakened from your slumber and said, wow, I didn't realize. I didn't realize that this was kind of a hoax going on since I was born. You know, you were crushed. You have everything in your heart and your spirit. Embrace yourself, have a willingness to accept yourself. And so let's exist in a place of heaven on earth. Let's, through our eyes, see everything that's beautiful and have gratitude for this moment. Let's live in this moment. And we're about to talk about our intuitive abilities. I'd like to move on to that. And before that, I just want to say, so we're going to live in this moment right now. Now, if you feel like you can't live in this moment because you're distracted, you're like looping thoughts, or you're just worried, is that serving you right now? Can you let that go? Can you let go of that thought attachment? Have it in your rear view mirror, let it go, and not have it bring you wasting more time. It's wasting your time, all those old belief systems, all those thought attachments. So we let those go. We let go of all of our thoughts. We just right now exist in this moment. So in this moment, here we are. Here's my mug of tea. I'm Mary. You're listening and watching this video. I want you to see right now, in this moment, your destiny. Imagine it right in front of you. What is your destiny? What do you desire? What is your wish? Where are you headed? What is the most beautiful life that you can imagine? That's your destiny. I want you to see that right now. And in this moment, place it in this moment. Place it on your hands, right here in this moment. Put your hands out and say out loud, my destiny is. Now, we're not sharing it with anyone until we have some more concrete, something that's more concrete, because we might get a naysayer. We might have someone say, ha ha ha, you can't do that. Are you kidding, Mary? You can't have that destiny. We don't ask anybody. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. They don't have our life. They don't look like us. They don't sound like us. They're not from the same family, and they don't have the same wishes and desires. And that's why I say, exhausting all this conformity. Let it go. Let all the conformity go and just be yourself. All right, so let's move into our intuitive abilities. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We have Garrett, who's coming from Boston, Mass today. I'm in New York. You know, we had Angie from Georgia. You know, anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So we are working and we are practicing and we are challenging ourselves. We all are very, very advanced beings. We are beings of light. We're sacred beings of light. And we need to protect ourselves and love ourselves. And knowing that, I have to tell you that you have abilities, whether you realize it or not, that you can master. You can master your intuitive abilities. Are you clairvoyant? Are you able to connect to other realms? Can you sense someone else's personality? Can you tune into someone else and know what they're thinking and feeling? Are you empathic? Do you have audience where you can hear? You can hear from other realms, from other locations, because we all have a knowing. If we tune out our critical thinking, if we tune that out, we just focus on our senses and we have stillness and we quiet our minds. Oh, I can hear the leaves moving outside. It's beautiful. And I have gratitude for this moment. If we can tune into our senses and we can allow ourselves the knowing. So a knowing that there's information coming from another source. It's a knowing. It's not from you. It's not your thoughts. It's not your feelings. It's from another source. That's being a clairvoyant. That's being an intuitive. Hey, Tayeka. Why do I keep saying that? From Detroit. Thanks for joining us. So we have Detroit. We have Boston, Mass. We have who else? We have Georgia. We're kind of universal today, aren't we? Well, thanks for joining us, Tanika. We were speaking of love, having love, loving ourselves, loving others, cherishing ourselves. And we were speaking of, being aware if we have hatred and even the either person, place, or thing that we hate, to embrace it with love. And we also spoke about, what do your eyes see? What are you seeing? What is your perspective? What is your perception? Because no one's going to have the same perspective. And so we must communicate and try to understand each other and have compassion if we are not understanding someone, and try to understand, because everyone's coming from a different perspective. And so the more our eyes see the same thing, the more that we will create this heaven on earth, right? This 3D earth that's shrinking, it's leaving, it's gone. And I see that, I feel that, I sense that. In my third eye, I see that I don't see any evil anymore. I don't see any darkness, dark forces. I'm not having any more psychic attacks at night when I'm sleeping. Hey, Angie, so true. Sometimes when we share our dreams with others, ugh, someone else told me, can't you just pick one thing? Nope. No, we have 5 humongous goals minimum. Maybe we have 100, because we're going to live a long time. I'm living until I'm 104. I have a lot of dreams. My destiny that I see is, going to change. It's periodically going to change, because I've reached my destiny, and then I'll reach another destiny, and I'll reach another destiny. Thanks for sharing that, Angie. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like and subscribe to the channel. So our clear senses, and I realized that our clear senses, the more that we tune into our feelings and our emotions and the way we receive, we become a receiver or a sender, is because it is a charged impulse. Our thoughts, our words, our actions all matter, because when we are doing a reading and we are trying to tune into someone, our perception has to kind of join with the other person. So when I said you let go, when you do a reading, you let go, you relax, you close your eyes, you have patience, and you you make contact with the other person. Now, how they're feeling about something and how they see the world is going to matter on how you read them. And so you must take that into account, because sometimes when we do a reading, we're kind of a little off, because it's how we see the world. That's why it's not good to have any critical reasoning when you're doing a reading. You're not doing any thinking. You're just taking everything from your senses. So what impressions do you receive? Try to know that whatever your impression that you're receiving is going to matter to them. It's not going to, you're not going to understand it. If receiving like a sewing kit. I remember I did this reading on someone at this psychic event, and I said, I see a sewing kit. Should I say that to her when I did the reading? It seems so silly. I said sewing kit. And she said, that's so strange. I just was sewing this blouse before I came here today. Angie, no one has the right to limit another. Exactly. We don't. And so when we read someone else, right, let's be aware that our feelings that we have or are about something might kind of shadow over a reading, and vice versa. So just be aware. Try to take apart whatever impressions that you have. Your experiences. Let's try to shed any any feeling experiences that we've had from the past. Like I said to you that I sense that I had a miracle where I have my broken heart has healed. And so I'm really desperately now trying to shed any feeling impressions that I had from the past, anything that I had that was related to that harm, because that I don't want in my future. Okay. So be aware of that. Be aware that when we have some kind of trauma or some kind of issue from our past, and as we heal it, we want to shed any kind of thought impressions that we had that were related to that, or thought experiences. Like we want to let go of, well, you know, my heart was broken and this is the feeling I had. We want to let go of that so we don't continue to encounter situations that will bring a broken heart. I hope I'm making sense to you. I hope this is understanding, because we can't come from a clear place if we're hanging on to anything. Okay? Also, when we have dreams, we're going to change a little bit here into a different direction. When we have dreams, we might have warnings or premonition dreams, and we must take note to manifest the best blessings and truly live in our soul. Yes, our soul intention. When we have dreams, we might encounter that we've had a premonition and it's a warning. So listen to the warning, pay attention. I say have a dream journal and write it down. Pay attention to your dreams. They are an indication of a direction you should go into, maybe a memory that you should engage with again and take notice. So be aware of your dreams. Your sleeping dreams matter. They really make a difference. Okay, so let's just for a minute talk about or discuss some of these clair senses. And have you been doing any tuning in? Have you listened beyond the walls of the room? Have you done any sending and receiving telepathic information? Also, we had that exercise that we spoke about, dropping our limbs, our legs, and our arms, and focusing on this part of our body from our neck down, our torso, putting all our energy, and then imagining a screen in front of us, a movie screen, and putting all our attention to the movie screen. And what information are we receiving? So when we have an impression, when we have a thought impression, when we receive impressions, what does that mean? Well, that's a knowing. That's through our senses, our 5 senses plus our 6th sense. And so our impressions are going to be something like an image, maybe a sensation, maybe a memory. Maybe you'll see a person, an entity, an angelic form, an angelic being. Maybe it'll be something dark like a demon, an impression. It might be a symbol. Maybe you'll hear things. So there's a lot that's involved here. It's all with your senses. And so when you receive that impression, take notice. Because the fact that you received it, it's going to help you in some way, or it's going to guide you. Maybe it's giving you information. They talk about synchronicity, and we say synchronicity. For a long time we heard coincidences. Well, that's a coincidence. And we said, oh, I had, deja vu, and that kind of thing. So synchronicity is kind of validation that you're on the right path, you're on the right journey right now, you're headed in the right direction. When you have synchronicity, because it's all these events that kind of come together that have nothing to do with each other, but you must take notice. And maybe it's actually some kind of data or information, some exciting information to take you further on your journey. Now, as we admit to ourselves, and we have an intention, which is a commitment that we will be doing our best at something. When we commit to our destiny and we don't doubt ourselves, We don't poo-poo ourselves. We don't laugh at ourselves or sabotage ourselves. What will happen when we commit? Well, we will start to encounter synchronicity, some events that we say, wow, where did that come from? Maybe someone will pass information. Maybe you'll encounter a stranger that will give you information to reach your destiny. But the more that we admit to ourselves, maybe we journal it about where we want to go, then the more everything will kind of fall into place. Now, I've had this happen to me recently. I've been living in the moment, having gratitude, and I've been looking at my destiny and placing it here in this moment with all of my fragile parts of me, my thoughts, my words, my actions, my heart, my spirit, my mental, my physical, everything together, joined together, and said, I want that destiny. And since then, it's all coming together. What I visualize for my destiny is all falling into place. Now, sometimes we say, oh my gosh, something really happened. I'm not going to be able to reach my destiny. But you will if you believe in yourself and you have trust. We're like the owl where we're seeing in the dark. We're trying to find our way. There's no proof. There's no evidence that we're going to get there. And maybe we're going to wake up one day and we're going to say, oh my gosh, I don't know how it's ever going to happen. I'm just going to give up. I'm going to give up. And I'm going to start to cry saying that, because we start to feel like that if we're not getting to our destiny or we're not reaching it, we're just tired and we're saying, this is just so much. This is so much. How am I going to do this? Don't give up. Don't give up. I'm here to say, don't give up. You will reach your destiny. You will reach heaven on earth. We are all awakening. Beautiful things are happening every day. The world that is going to take over the matrix is so beautiful. Have you ever heard of Tataria? Tataria was here in the 1800s. And it's a lost civilization. It was exterminated. And there was free energy, and there was love and beauty, and everyone, it was in peace. We're going to reach Tataria again. We are going to reach this. We are in this golden age now. Trust. Okay, so have you tuned into and done a token object reading with someone? Taking a stranger's possession and just saying, oh, what kind of impression am I receiving right now? Like, I'm a mind reader, but you can do it. It's practice. Now, we're not going to be able to do readings very well when we know the person, because our thinking is going to come into play. That's why it's much easier to do readings with strangers. If you are brave enough to say to a stranger, hey, I want to do a reading. I'd like to read you. I'm working on my intuitive abilities. You'd be surprised how many beings out there, individuals out there that love to get a reading. Oh, I'm practicing being a psychic, you could say. And so let's become more clear. Let's have more clarity within ourselves. And let's understand ourselves more. And we can do that by accepting all of ourselves, accepting ourselves for all of our gifts, good and bad. We are imperfect, perfect beings of light. So when you suddenly know something, that means you've received information from an outside source. Maybe a thought will drop into your brain. So I've spoken of angels. I've spoken of Archangel Michael, who is right by my side for like months and months. This whole time I've been doing these videos, and he's flew away because he's not here anymore. And maybe that miracle came and I don't have the broken heart anymore. But we can ask for miracles. We can ask for angels to come into our lives. We can ask to be shown. We can ask to be awakened. If you ask, you will receive. Now, maybe we just think it and then it comes to us. The more clear, then the faster information that we ask for will come. So just believe I'm here, really. I'm here, firmly here, to be living in light, just to speak about these topics and to hope that you will have a better day, have more love in your heart. And I think to maybe give you a chance, if there's something that you can't normally speak about with your friends, you can speak about here or hear about it. And some of what I say might be considered, it's a little sci-fi, I'm a conspiracy theorist. But I believe truly that maybe conspiracy theorists are actually telling the truth now, because those that were considered conspiracy theorists, a lot of what they said is coming true. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So let's realize that the impressions that we receive, this knowing, these mental images that come into our being is information that we're receiving because we're supposed to receive it. It's a vibration, and so it's coming to us. It's a charged impulse. So let's do our ball of light, and then I'll do a visualization, and I'll be back again on Monday at 11. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you have a wonderful day. We're going to do the ball of light right now. So next week, my focus is like 1,000,000%. I'm going to give every day one new exercise for ESP. One new exercise every single day next week. So 5 new exercises on ESP, telepathy, because we have to get through this. Everyone has to become awakened, and we have to work on our intuitive skill set, because that's where we're going in the world. That's the physical reality that's going to take over. All right, so let's do our ball of light. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Tell me where you're coming from. We're kind of have a global view today. Many of us across the globe, we're bringing light together all here. And I'm really excited, and I'm happy that you're joining us, because you know what? It brings me more love. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. All right, there's Elsa. She's here. Hey, Elsa. Elsa loves to be here every day. It's like, I'm here with Mary, and I'm the co-host. Oh. All right, so here, let's do this together. We're going to rub our hands together, and we're going to kind of take it away from our body, because we're creating a ball of light. We're bringing energy into this physical reality. And we are working on our concentration, and we're working on our focus. So we're rubbing our hands together, and we're taking them apart. And if you think that this isn't worth something, it is, because you're bringing light into your physical realm, into your physical existence, and you're creating energy. We're putting energy around here, aren't we? So I'm going to go right into looking at because we're running out of time. I have some place I have to be. I'm going to tune right into where I see my face. Oh, interesting. I saw a dinosaur. In my third eye, I saw a dinosaur. And we might activate our third eye by doing this. And so, wow, it was a dinosaur. Interesting. So is this the past? Are we going to have dinosaurs in our future? I don't know. And I see an angel over here. Wow, a dinosaur. That's so strange. I do see the white gate. I see something pink, which I think it's like an arm, or I want to say it must be a body part. So maybe it's someone that's running in my view. So let's see, what do I see right here? I see a blanket. I see some kind of covering. So what kind of energy? Is there any kind of clairaudience that I'm going to hear? Because sometimes I'm hearing from another realm information. What am I hearing? Anything? Well, I hear like skipping stones in the water. I hear someone skipping stones in the water right now. That's kind of positive, isn't it? I don't know where the dinosaur came from. That's so strange. Now that Archangel Michael has left, what am I seeing? Well, I'm seeing a tree. I'm seeing a fall tree. So I guess it's in the present right now. All right, so we're going to put light around. in our physical reality, right? Which is super positive. And then you know what you might be able to do eventually is you can tune into your ball of light and you can actually work on bringing light in your third eye into a location that you're in. You can clear space. You can clear out negativity. If there's anything demonic or evil in the space, you can clear it out with light. You can visualize light in the space and like you're sweeping a broom through the space from the ceiling to the floor. That's how you clear space. And you know, sometimes you maybe speak certain words, ask it to leave. And you know, I tune into other locations with light. So I can go into a location that I'm not at and bring light there. I've done that before. I don't know if anyone's ever done that. So I'm going to put my hands back together. It's funny when I have the light in my hand, the ball of light, it kind of inspires me. So maybe your ball of light will inspire you. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Today we covered love. We covered what do you see? What do you perceive? What information do you see? And what are you receiving? You know, we only can see 1% of the world around us. 99% of the world we can't see through our eyes. Because of light, humans can only see 1% of visible light in the spectrum. So, what is your outlook? What is your viewpoint? Are you seeing the world from a place of ugliness? Are you saying, ew, I don't even want to go out into the world. It's awful. I don't like it. Everybody's terrible. Well, are you attracting that into your life? Because the more you speak of it, the more you're going to bring it into your life, aren't you? If you say, everyone's so mean, everybody's so hateful, are you bringing that? Are you looking for that? Is that a distraction from something else? So be aware how you see the world. What world do you see? I see the world of that tree out there, that beautiful nature. I see the world of love. I see that the 3D matrix has shrunk down. It's gotten really small now. And they're grappling on the windowsill like the cat hanging outside. And it's saying, no, I'm not going to be defeated. Evil's dark forces are going to come at you before it leaves, but it's shrinking. It's shrinking. And so we're no longer going to have to encounter this darkness anymore. Be aware of that. So like, just before I go on to the visualization, like this is a beautiful painting. And so I loved this because I always saw angels dancing in a circle in my third eye. And I don't know if you can see that, but see, that's what this is. And this is a famous painting, the Temple of Dance, Celestial Celebration. These celestial beings of light coming from the heavens to protect humanity are coming before God. And look at this down here. They're all hugging each other. And that's what I'm hoping for. And it's angels hugging humans. Okay? So can you see that? Angels hugging humans. And they say that we have 2 guardian angels with us from the time we're born. Now, here's the light that I see when I walk outside. I see this light. I ask for light. I ask for light. And that's why we do visualizations. And that's why we do balls of light. The matrix is this to me. Dark, dark, dark. It's like crushes our desires and our dreams and our hopes and our wishes. So let's hopefully, from now on, see the world from a beautiful viewpoint. Because the more we see it from a beautiful viewpoint, then the more it will become a beautiful viewpoint. You know, we can create our reality through our own perception. And I'm sending you love and hope and wishes, and we're going to do a visualization, and then we're going to go because I have someplace I have to be. So thanks for joining me. Anyone who's not going to join us through this visualization, I'll be back again on Monday at 11, Living in the Light. I'm Mary Amy. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so we will create vivid mental images in our mind's eye, bringing us hope, love, prosperity, serenity, everything good. Okay, blessings. We will create vivid mental images of joy, happiness, and hope. So, blessings. Our intention today is to wake up in the morning and realize connecting to an optimistic perspective will change our life. It will transform our life. Your brain and heart visualization begins now. So, please lie down or just get in a comfortable position. Close your eyes, let out any attachments that you have. Breathe out. And we want to scan our bodies from the top of our head to the tip of our toes for any tension. So if you have tension, maybe you want to go, let it go, and let it go, right? Because then we let go of all of our stress, and we want to let go of any thought attachments that's taking life from us, that's not serving us. Anything from the past, before this moment, we're going to let go. We're just going to let it out. We have to speak it out. And now we're going to breathe together 3 times. Inhale and exhale 3 times together on a 12 count. Okay, so I hope you've relaxed a little bit more than you were. And so we're breathing out old energy, and we're going to scan our body for tension. And now we're going to imagine in your brain a small ball of light the size of a quarter. And you're going to imagine this small ball of light in your brain. Your eyes are closed, and you see this ball of light. And it's the size of a coin, and it's a glowing ball of light, and it's releasing sparks, and it's spinning. And as it spins, it's bringing you a mental release. You're releasing thoughts of fear, anger, sadness, anything that's bothering you. It's a mental release, and you're breathing out. So this ball of light has sparks, and it's glistening, and it's spinning clockwise 3 times. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and it's spinning, and it's releasing these sparks of light, and they're touching inside of your brain. And anything that's bothering you, you're letting it go, and you're allowing it to leave your system. And now the ball of light the size of a coin is actually expanding, and it's moving counterclockwise, and it's spinning 1, 2, 3. And so you're breathing out these thoughts, anything that's bothering you, and it's becoming bigger and bigger and larger, and it's releasing all these sparks throughout the inside of your brain and now inside of your head, and it's becoming larger, and you're becoming more sensitive. And now this ball of light is traveling through your head, inside your being, it's encompassing your being, and now it's moving to your heart. It's continuing to spin, and sparks of light are inside of you. And now you can sense that this ball of light is not only in your brain, but it's now in your heart. So its heart and your mind are connecting. And it's continuing to spin, and now it's becoming larger and larger. It's touching everything within you, your organs, your bones, your flesh, and all of your cells. It's touching, and you've let go of everything that no longer serves you. You're letting go of anything that's bothering you, and you're replacing it with fresh hope and light and love and desires and wishes. And your mind and your body and your spirit are calm and peaceful. And you're breathing out anything that's left. And you realize now that you have strong boundaries within you, and you're keeping outside energies and triggers that have bothered you away. And you're going to stay in this moment, and you're going to allow this light energy to stay within you, and you're feeling hopeful about tomorrow, about the next moment in your life. And now I'm going to count backwards, and you're going to open your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so hopefully that gave you a moment today to just have some peace. And that's what it's for, too. It's not only to bring light into your being, but it's to calm your spirit. Now, when we calm our spirit and we have become to have more awareness. We have more awareness. We have more patience when we're calmer. Hey, Tommy, how are you? What's going on? Do you have a mask on there? What is that? I can't even see that. You're so funny. Hey, Tommy, hope you liked the video and subscribe to the channel. Welcome to Living in the Light, and I'm Mary Amy, coming live. So today I really appreciate everyone who's joined us, and we spoke of love, and we spoke of what do your eyes see, and is the 3D earth shrinking? And yes, it is, because we have light on the horizon. Good things are coming. Beyond our view, a difficult situation will improve. So all of the junk that's in the world is leaving, and it's going away in a dumpster. And the only thing that's going to be left is heaven on earth. This beautiful, enjoyable, very pleasant place that we're going to live, the golden age. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm going to spin light, and you're in the center of it, and you're making a wish. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I hope good things are happening and you enjoy one of your 5 humongous goals. So let's live in the moment and let's see our destiny. Let's make a quantum leap to our destiny today. And let's get there. It's possible. Anything is possible. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful day. I'll be back again on Monday at 11. Bye.